Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show tonight. I hope everyone's had a good week so far this week. I know that I have been very busy. Work has been challenging. A lot of things have been challenged, but you know what? That's great because without challenges, uh, what would we have? Everything would be dull, and we wouldn't be able to work through situations. So we all need to be challenged. Let me go ahead and start off tonight by welcoming people to the show tonight who are viewing. So Charlotte Geller, welcome tonight. Cheryl Moulton, welcome tonight. Catherine Lynn, William Campbell, and Clayton Orwell. Good evening, everyone, and I thank you for all tuning in. And if anyone else would like to say hello in the chat. And thank you for joining me this Wednesday evening. So, first of all, let me look over here at something. So, I've got three people on my personal channel. If you guys would like to actually be able to participate in the chat, would you go to This Week from Rockdale? Just go to Facebook, go to This Week from Rockdale, join the show from This Week from Rockdale, or you can go to YouTube. You can join the show from YouTube, and you'll be able to be interactive in the chat. We really like it when people are being able to be interactive in the chat. It makes us all be able to communicate with each other and have good conversations and great feedback from you guys. Because if I don't get feedback from you guys, we really don't know, how you're feeling about things, and that's important. Unlike our current board of commission, I like getting your feedback and knowing what you think is going on and what should happen in Rockdale County. Good evening, George Kilichik. Nice to have you here tonight. So I'm going to get started tonight. And first, let me backtrack a minute. Why don't you guys go ahead and share and like this show so that we can grow this audience? And just let you know, after the first of the year, start doing a little bit of promoting the show, doing some advertising, um, and such like that. So when we do that, we're gonna try to grow the show and make people aware of the show, so that so they can have informative conversations about what's going on in Rockdale County. Now, what I want to talk about a little bit tonight is, well, the chairman announced that they were going to have their infrastructure committee that was going to be working jointly with the Atlanta Regional Commission, and they had their first meeting last night. I spoke with George Kilichik after the meeting, and George was a little disappointed in what went on there because they did not allow citizen input or citizen interaction with the committee. I looked at the newspaper article today. Very interesting what they put in the article today. So the article defined the committee as community members, because I think Mr. Kilichik said someone did ask if all the 30, if every 30 member, every member was a member of a Rockdale County citizen, and the answer was no. They were not all Rockdale County citizens. So to me, guys, one of the first criteria of anyone sitting on any board that's going to impact Rockdale County is that they should be a citizen of Rockdale County, because we don't need outsiders being involved in our internal business. Rockdale County business needs to be handled by Rockdale County citizens. So that's an issue I have with it. So the board is made up of 30 community members and 14 county department experts and leaders, as along with they're working in conjunction with the Atlanta Regional Commission. One of the things I think we need to discuss is what exactly is infrastructure, because a lot of people, they don't really know what infrastructure is. So, they say, well, it sounds great. It's business stuff. Well, not exactly. So I'm going to give you some examples of what infrastructure is. Infrastructure is water, sewer, transportation, because those are the foundations and the infrastructure that we need for people to be able to survive in a community and businesses flourish. So, what's the importance of each? So, we need the water, because water is essential for any business and for people to be able to live, as well as the sewer. So, we need water and sewer, two prime pieces of infrastructure. Then we go to our transportation, and we have to break the transportation down, because we have highways and bridges. Then we have the upkeep of existing infrastructure. And then we need to determine, do we need to create additional infrastructure to relieve congestion, to relieve flow, to increase the ability people get in an area, out of an area. So, so roads and bridges are an integral part of and that's the part of the infrastructure world that I'm in, is actually the highway infrastructure business. And and then we look at additional things with infrastructure, and we have rail. Rail is also a part of infrastructure, and we have air. Air travel is also a part of infrastructure with local, municipal, and international airports. Very, very important part of our infrastructure packages that we look at in state and national and local communities. Then we also have port authorities, and the port authorities are also, when we live near waterways that we can navigate, like large rivers, large lakes, or let's say the ocean, and where we can transport goods and things by waterway. Waterway is an essential part of infrastructure when we live in those type areas. So this is what we're talking about when we talk about infrastructure needs in Rockdale County. So as we look at what Rockdale County is and where Rockdale County sits and what we have, then Rockdale County's focus on infrastructure would be three things. It would be water, it would be sewer, and it would be highway transportation. And it would be bridges and highways, maintenance of highways, and any arteries that we could add to Rockdale County that would increase flow in and out of the county. Uh, so that's what we need to do. We people need to understand what is infrastructure and how will it impact the county, and we need to also look the people that are on that board, and also the individuals who work for the county, who they say are department heads and experts and such. Do they actually have the expertise to be planning and discussing future infrastructure needs, current infrastructure needs, and the upkeep of the infrastructure that we currently have in place in Rockdale County? When I look at the infrastructure of Rockdale County, and I've lived here since 2005. One of the things that has concerned me and bothered me for the whole tenure of my residency here is the intersection of 138 and I-20 and Dogwood, that area up there around the Walmart and the Cracker Barrel and all that area there. That was a poorly designed area, and we've been hearing threats of there being engineering and things that will be done to correct that. Now, that's not anything that Rockdale County will do. It will be the state that does that, because 138 is a state highway, I-20 is a state highway, so they will be funding and correcting that traffic flow problem, and that is a major traffic flow problem in an area that is key to industry to Rockdale County, because that is in the industry corridor of what I would refer as Rockdale County. The I-20 corridor is the industrial corridor of Rockdale County, and there is where it's important that we have the water, sewer, and the transportation needs. We need to make sure that the things are highlighted and that they are qualified there. Cheryl, I mean, a lot of people consider the schools, and I consider schools a side infrastructure issue. I don't consider it an infrastructure issue because that's the way I see it. Um, so I think Bill just, I mean, Tom put up some members that were on the list, and we got all. Uh, so I'm going to put that up there. So these are individuals that the the chairman has picked to be on the board on that committee, and it's a cherry picked board. You can look at the individuals that are on that board and see this is a cherry picked board. And then I saw a picture that George took of the members that were present, and it was like 15 or 20 after when George took the picture. There are only 6 or 7 members of the 30 that were present. So it was very interesting of the 6, and I think George said only a few additional showed up. So let's just say, uh, a third of the members that were appointed actually showed up to represent that. And I'm sure the 14 members of the county were there that were delegated as department heads or experts to be there. Like I said, we have to question whether the individuals that they have defined as leaders and experts are qualified enough to be able to give an opinion as to what uh, Charlotte did. I like Charlotte's comment. I actually probably agree with that. So Charlotte puts there was more experts as guests last night, and I agree with that, Charlotte. You most likely had more experts that were guests, and it's just like, let's just take for an example someone like me. I would be someone that if I was a county commissioner, whether I got along with me or not, I would be on an infrastructure committee because I'm someone who has 30 years of transportation knowledge, not just any type of transportation knowledge, but building and repairing of highways and bridges. So, wouldn't it be important to have someone on a transportation or on an infrastructure task force that actually understands building and maintaining and repairing highways and bridges? To me, it would, but it makes too much sense just because someone would, uh, see someone as a political non-ally, or I don't look at myself as an enemy to the government. I look at myself as a friend to the citizens, trying to redirect the government, which works for me. The county government actually works for the citizens, and we don't really need them to come up with these grandiose and grand ideas. We just need them to listen to us, because there are, as Charlotte said, there are enough citizen experts that, and for example, Tom Harrison just put something up there, and I wholeheartedly know this and agree with it, right? So Tom Harrison has 45-year career in the water and sewer industry. Now, why would we not utilize Tom? And myself were not invited to be on this task force. So, but between Tom and I, combined years of experience, 85 years. 85 years of infrastructure experience in highway and bridge maintenance and building and water and sewer. That's a little bit. That's a little bit something, isn't it? So guys, this is what I talk about all the time when I talk about these 3 commissioners are not qualified to hold those positions. The county commissioners are like, they need to be individuals who don't have to be an expert in any particular field, but you do need to have knowledge of many different fields. So, you have to have business knowledge. You have to have infrastructure knowledge. You have to have people skills. You have to have listening skills. You have to know about a whole. You have to know about a little bit about or learn about land management, planning and zoning. So we've got individuals who make these decisions solely on irrational beliefs and political ideologies. That's why I believe it's very important that in 24 that we elect someone who doesn't run representing a political party. I believe it's time that we elect someone who puts party to the side. Which, guys, I totally intend to do that. And somebody says, well, you're heavily entrenched in the Republican Party. Yes, that is accurate. But what one also has to realize is for 25 years, I was heavily entrenched in the Democrat Party. 14 years heavily entrenched in the Republican Party. I intend to walk away from party affiliation and do what everyone should do at the county and municipal government level. You should represent people and not represent party ideology because parties don't put people first; they put parties first, and that's just the fact. If we would all be sincere about what goes on, political parties want people in office who will put the what's best for the party first, and I don't intend to do that. I intend to, like I say, finish out my term of what I'm doing now with the Republican Party, and then step away from county party leadership, and work on nonpartisan county issues will be my prime objective. I've got three major objectives that I want to start working on after these runoff elections and the holidays get over with in the first of the year. I want to finish getting the signatures for 1102 so that senior citizens can recognize a long-awaited tax exemption that they deserve from all property taxes. That would be BOC, City of Conyers, and the Board of Education. Senior citizens should be exempt at some point from all property taxes. Senior citizens don't downsize a home because they want to downsize it, and senior citizens end up selling their home and getting smaller properties because they can't afford the property taxes on the home that they have had their whole life. That's why seniors really sell their homes. It's because they can't afford to keep it, and that's the reality. Um, that what happens. I also, 1102 would actually do the host. I'm sorry. And then the second thing I want to work on is the exemption for senior citizens, because senior citizens need that. I want to finish getting the signatures for 1102 because it is so vital that we convert that host, because we have a mechanism in place already in Rockdale County uh, 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 for the type of funding that they use the host for, which is infrastructure and those type things, and that's called the SPLOST and capital expenditures. So the SPLOST funds need to be allocated uh, in a more direct manner as to the projects that they would benefit best, and the host funds need to go what the citizens in the early 2000s voted it to be. They voted to be 100% tax relief for the citizens of Rockdale County, and that's what we need to do. We need to realize this needs to happen. That the citizens of Rockdale County, especially the senior citizens, need tax relief. We look at Rockdale County right now, and we have got two segments of the population that are the fastest growing segments of our population: 50 to 64 and 64 and over. So, these are individuals, the 50 to 64 are pushing the retirement age. And uh, and the 64 and older are uh, and the 64 and older are all people that have already retired. Somebody made a comment in this now, Phyllis Morris Samuel. So you would think that Corliss Turner and other community activists for the Rockdale County would be invited to participate. No, you would not think. If you know this county government, then individuals like myself, Tom Harrison, Corliss Turner, and George Kelichek are the exact type of individuals that this board would not want to participate, because we come at them with logical and well thought out ideas that sometimes aren't extravagant enough, and it means they can't come and ask for additional tax dollars. Uh, uh, they definitely, and Corliss just said they definitely don't want us, and she is correct that they don't want us because we are demanding fiscal responsibility from these three individuals, and that's something these individuals have shown they are incapable of doing. Is performing uh, anything in a manner of being fiscally responsible. Uh, and like Corliss just said, we're truth tellers, and they don't want to. I mean, we tell the truth, and the chairman will try to manipulate the truth and say it's misinformation, when all along the chairman and the commissioners are the individuals spreading misinformation. And that's reality. The reality that we live in is that our board of commission are the champions of misinformation and untruthful comments and ill will toward the citizens of Rockdale County. Guys, we can make a difference in Rockdale County, and it's by exposing things like when they put these pretend committees together. Uh, and that's exactly what it is. These are pretend committees. They don't, it's just for fluff, it's just for talk, it's just for show. They intend to actually accomplish not one single thing, but but have meetings, pretend they're doing something, and buy everybody dinner. That belongs to the committee. That's exactly what they do. And as citizens of Rockdale County, we deserve better. We deserve better from these idiots. So that's what I think. So, hey, Danielle Munoz, welcome to the show. So I hope everything's great. Daniel, I don't know if you've seen, but I got me another computer, and I think that my video and my sound is much better. So I like what's going on with it. So my intentions are to broadcast from the my home studio on Wednesday nights and my office studio on Sundays. And I will also be adding an additional, a different camera and mic at the office after Christmas, because I've got some Christmas presents that I'll be getting at that point. And it's a camera that Alex recommended to me to get. It's a face cam. Something is the other name of it, but it had a really good sale on Black Friday, so I got that, and that's what we're doing. So that's what we are. So what does Cheryl? I totally agree with you, Larry, and Tom Harrison. So and Cheryl is another one of these individuals in the county that have watched what the county's doing, has done open record requests, has questioned some of the deeds of the county and pointed out what should happen instead of what they're doing. So that's very interesting that we've got these kind of things going on, and then you've got citizens that have been carrying they've been carrying the banner for a while here, guys, against what this county government is doing. But like I said, it comes down to people just not paying attention. And at the end of the day, I blame uh, party politics. It's they go into the ballot box and they vote a D or an R. and they don't vote for the most qualified person. They vote for a party affiliated person, and that's what we have going on. They vote for party labels and not the most qualified. So people who really want to make a difference in Rockdale County, it's trying to drop party labels, run as independents, and let's force, let's give the citizens an option and force these bad apples out of office. Because I know we can do it. If you come at people with good ideas and good policy, drop the party labels and just represent people and be there for people. It's putting people first, not parties first. And that's what I intend to do. I intend to create uh, the Rockdale County Independent Movement, because we don't want to have a Rockdale County Independent Party, because we don't want a party. We want individuals who don't have to report to a party. They need to report to the citizens, not a party. And I don't want to create an independent party. And I know some people have thought that I meant that, but I want there to be truly independents, people who are independent and will move forward as independents and not even affiliate themselves in an independent party. Because as soon as you start affiliating as a party, then you've got individuals who want to belong to that, and they expect party loyalty instead of loyalty to people. And we have that all the time, guys. I mean, because these parties they're not loyal to you. They're loyal to the machine. And that's what we've got to realize. And then you've got politicians like Osborne Nesbitt, Sherry Washington, and Doreen Williams who take advantage of that party loyalty. They run as Democrats. Who knows if they're really Democrats or if they're communist or whatever they are. I mean, I don't like their politics, no matter what it is. And we need to in 24 eliminate two of these individuals. And that's just what we need to do. And if we do that, we can make a difference in Rockdale County. We can stop the building of the courthouse. We can stop what'd Corliss say? So Corliss says she was in. You need to stay in her face. I was impressed that citizens came together last night on a short notice, and that's true. I mean, the citizens need to stay together. They need to come out. They need to voice their opinion, but it needs to be in a non-party manner. Don't need to support Democrats. Don't need to support Republicans. We need to support individuals. And there is where I think the most important thing in this county is, when we can get past party identity and we can look at a person to be a person. And to do that, individuals are going to have to drop those party labels, and they're going to have to run as independents. And that's what I intend to do. Guys, I want to talk about one more thing, and then I'm going to leave y'all alone. I want to talk about the 350 turkeys that the chairman is so proud of giving away. Let's just say the average turkey, whatever, 20, 25 bucks. So he gave us 350 turkeys away. And let's say senior citizens got the most of those. You know what? Didn't help them pay their taxes. Didn't help them buy food. Didn't help them pay their rent. It didn't help. That $20, $25 turkey is a great gesture, but is it a reason to reelect anybody? Is it a reason to elect anybody? Is it a reason? So, Justin, you're a good guy, and I like you, and and actually supported you when you've you know you made some efforts to run for judge here in Rockdale County. And I agree. I think you will do the right thing on that committee and voice your opinion. But this is the thing about it, unfortunately, Justin. That group of those three commissioners don't really care what your opinion is. They don't really care about the opinion of that board. That is a cherry picked board to get a predetermined opinion and a predetermined uh, 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 a predetermined uh, uh, report that they want. That's just fact. That's why they didn't like the first courthouse committee. There were too many independent-minded people on the first courthouse committee, and it was just too much. They even hired a professional facilitator who could not control that group of individuals. But now they've got this other courthouse committee, and it is a rubber stamp committee from hell. And that's just fact, guys. There's not anybody on that committee that's going to do that. And Justin, I think will bring these things forward. He'll mention them to the other members. But at the end of the day, they've already got an idea of what they want to do and how they want to manipulate the money and how they want to waste your tax dollars. And while we have those three people in office, it is a waste of time to think we can actually correct, corral, or guide them, because you're not going to. And that's the reality we need to face. And that's why we need to face it. We do need to challenge them at every minute of the day. But we need people to run for office who will drop the party label, run as an independent, and do the right and represent people and not a party ideology. That's what we need. And those are tough words, guys. Those are tough words to be speaking. They are. But it's reality. It's reality. And it's what really needs to happen. Like, again, going back to the 350 turkeys. It is great charity work. It's great that 350 people got this turkey. They might not have had a turkey. But at the end of the day, it doesn't help those people pay their taxes. Doesn't help them pay their utility bills, doesn't help them pay their rent or mortgage. It does not help them survive the high cost of living that we are facing. It doesn't. So guys, don't fall prey to the chairman's slick tactics. Remember, he was a used car salesman. He was a used car salesman. Don't fall victim to these slick tactics. A free turkey. A $25 turkey should not mean a hill of beans in the big scheme of things. Thank you, everybody. I am going to escape. And man, you guys have put some great comments in there tonight. And I think that you guys have, you have just went to a different level, I think, with what the ideas you have, the comments you've put on there. Let's keep that up. And like I said, we're going to grow this show. Like I said, I'm going to invest in some advertising at the first of the year, and we're going to do some more things that I think that are going to help grow this audience so that more people in Rockdale County, and think, guys, not only what I'm saying, but it really helps for people to read your comments and your thoughts and know what actual citizens in this county think. And that's what I want more of. I want more of your comments in this feed. Like, get your friends to watch. Suggest your friends to watch so they can start commenting. That's what we need. We need involvement by this community. And like I said, and I'm going to do my part to grow this show. It's one of the things that I'm going to attempt to do after the first of the year is to grow this show, because I think that's going to be very, very important. So guys, thank you. Good night. And I will see you Sunday night on the Sunday edition of This Week from Rockdale with your host, Larry Cox.